at hemphousechat.com.
If you are watching the show this morning and you happen to have a septic system at your house, then please listen up. This is John Bartlett. He has Chatta-Rooter here in town, and he is making an awful lot of calls these days to homes with low pressure pipes who don't realize they're in very expensive homes with a potentially very expensive fix if they don't maintain some things. So good to see you this morning.
We appreciate you having us. Thank you. Yes, what we're trying to do is educate the homeowner in Chattanooga with the low pressure pipe systems. Most people with a low pressure pipe system do not know that they have this system. Most of the new homes on Jasper Highlands, Signal Mountain, all these places are now using an engineered low pressure pipe system to achieve one of two things: to either fight the percolation of the ground or to get a larger home on a smaller lot. And they work well. They're designed to last 35 to 40 years. But what we were running across is failures within 3 to 4 years.
Because you have to maintain them. I was comparing it to like a termite inspection. Everyone's going to have wood in their house. You got to make sure it's treated for termites. But if you don't do the maintenance and you get termites, you're in for a much more expensive fix. Is
Absolutely,
that right?
Yes, ma'am. You know, the last thing anybody wants to do is to purchase a $500,000 to $800,000 home and have a sewage backed up in the next 3 to 4 years. With these systems, there are pumps, there are a sequence of valves. There are screens in the pumps that need to be maintained and cleaned. And unfortunately, people find out they even have an LPP system when it's backing up into their home.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so we're not wanting people to buy a new home and in the first 5 years have a major problem.
Okay, so you were sharing with me though that much of what you're seeing right now, the homes have already been constructed. So many of these people are 2 or 3 years in, and one of the kickers has been that the landscaping has been in place, and that's where it makes it more difficult, right?
Yes,
because it kind of hides the problem.
It hides the knowledge of even having a septic system, really. There are valves throughout the yard and the property that they are used to calibrate pressure. There are turn-ups at the ends of every line that have to be blown out every 2 years. And if not, that system is going to fail within 5 to 6 years. They're very expensive to replace, and just the education of maintaining one will expand the lifespan from 5 years to 40.
I'm a numbers girl, and I don't like to spend, there's fun money to spend and there's not fun money to spend. So replacing your entire septic system is in the not fun money to spend category to the tune of about $30,000, you said.
An engineered septic system can absolutely cost $30,000.
Whereas the maintenance every couple of years runs you $1,500 or so.
Yes, ma'am. It's in the hundreds of dollars. Every home has two spots for a septic system. You have a primary and then you have a backup. And really every home that's built is really designed to last 80 years. If the first septic system spot in your yard goes out prematurely, then you're forced to go to the back, and then after that property is going to be septic prone to problems.
So that's not just the money then that you would be outputting to have the repairs done or a new system installed, but it's going to hurt the value of your home.
It absolutely will. Above and beyond the repair or replacement of an LPP system, you've got the landscaping, you've got the sprinklers, you have everything in the yard that is getting dug up if it has to be replaced. So the knowledge of needing to have an LPP system maintenance is just so important.
Okay, now you might be hurting some people's hearts. So let's say that you've been in your house, I'm going to make this up and say 5 years, okay? And you've never treated it before. You had no idea this could be you. And they call you today and out you come to see their property. After 5 years, their landscaping is kind of settled in. Their trees are getting mature, their azaleas are pretty. If you've got to go through and find these things that have been hidden, is that going to mess up their landscaping?
It's going to mess up their landscaping. It's going to do a lot of it's very invasive. We fix everything back when we do find the valves and the turn-ups, but the invasion of getting it maintenance ready compared to digging one up is a day and night difference.
When you find these things that I can't envision, but you're telling me about them, suppose one happens to be in a garden bed. Can it stay there, just be visible?
It can stay there. It is never recommended to put anything over a septic system.
Not
all this works
over
on
it, but
evaporation.
around it? Or roots are your problem?
Roots are your problem, evaporation, thick leaves. anything that's going to hold the moisture in or keep the sunlight from penetrating the ground to evaporate the water.
So I'm sure there are a lot of people thinking, how do I get in touch with this guy? Are you a team of one? If they call you today, what's the wait time to get you out to their house?
So we're usually about a week behind. I have 3 crews. I look at every job myself. I diagnose it, I process it, and then one of my crews, my sons or the guys that have worked with me, will come and take care of the problem. And then before we are through, I come and inspect it and make sure everything's good.
I know that we barely scratched the surface. 6.5 minutes is not nearly enough time. I'm sure when you're at their property, you're there for a while, making sure you give them a thorough inspection and the right answer
Yes, ma'am.
for their problem. If they're building currently, before I let you run, can they reach out to you to do a walkthrough to make sure that they know what they're getting into before they start the landscaping?
They can give us a call just to ask a simple question if they'd like.
Okay, well here's how you find them. It's Chatta-Rooter. Their phone number is 509-9748. You can find them online at Chatta-Rooter.com. They're also at ChattanoogaSepticRepair.com. When you Google them, you'll find them, and they're right down there on Tennessee Avenue. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you for having us.
Next time on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
They were in the room playing video games.